The female CEO married a handsome but poor man and then took him to buy a car, only to unexpectedly run into her ex-boyfriend at the car dealership. When the ex-boyfriend saw that after their breakup, the woman had chosen a man who seemed like nothing more than a pretty face, he walked over and began mocking the man. Arrogantly, he declared that whatever car the man bought, he would buy the same one, not realizing the heavy price he would pay for those words. Upon hearing the ex-boyfriend's taunts, the man immediately became angry and wanted to defend his wife. He walked right over to a nearly $1 million luxury car and said he would buy it. The ex-boyfriend, who had followed him, didn't believe the man and said there was no way he could afford such a car. But the man, unfazed by his words, simply called the manager over to process the payment. The female CEO, hearing this, quickly tried to calm the man down, urging him not to act impulsively or he would completely lose face. To her surprise, the man pulled out a private bank card. It turned out that this man, who appeared so poor, was actually the richest man in the city. He had hidden his identity when marrying the female CEO because he wanted to repay her for saving his life. 3 years earlier, the man had suddenly fallen ill and collapsed. The woman happened to pass by, and she quickly administered CPR, successfully saving his life. When the man opened his eyes, he remembered her face, wanting to repay her. But the woman had left the scene as soon as he regained consciousness, leaving him no time to ask for her name. 3 years later, the woman's sister framed her by slipping a drug into her drink, leading the female CEO to unexpectedly cross paths with the man. Shortly after, the woman discovered that her ex-boyfriend was after her family's wealth. So she contacted the man again, and upon meeting, she immediately pulled out her household registration book, insisting on marrying him right away. After receiving their marriage certificate, the man was about to reveal to the woman that he was the city's richest man. But then he heard her say that the reason she decided to marry him so quickly was partly because he was handsome and partly because he seemed poor, and therefore would never be able to access her main assets. Upon hearing this, the man realized that the female CEO currently had a very negative attitude toward wealthy men. So he immediately abandoned the idea of telling her he was the city's richest man. After briefly introducing himself to his wife, he made an excuse and parted ways with her. Unexpectedly, the wife suddenly told the man that she noticed on his household registration that, besides his name, only his grandmother's name was listed, so they should bring some gifts to visit the elderly woman. Hearing this, the man, worried she might find out he was a wealthy man, quickly tried to make excuses, but eventually he gave in to his wife and took her to visit his grandmother. As soon as they arrived at the house, the wife was stunned by the man's luxurious villa. When the grandmother came out, she said to the man, "How does my CEO grandson have time to visit me?" Upon hearing this, the woman became even more suspicious, but the man quickly covered his grandmother's mouth and told his wife that his grandmother was just really into role-playing games. He then hurriedly helped his grandmother inside and whispered to her that the woman he brought back was her granddaughter-in-law, who didn't know he was wealthy and asked his grandmother to play along.